I'm going to speedrun from $0 to $10,000 on a brand new YouTube channel as fast as possible. In this video, I'll show you everything I did every step of the way, because this ended up even crazier than I expected. Guys, my name is JeremyB. I've grown over 26 successful YouTube channels myself and helped over hundreds of our students grow their channels too. That's how I got my 11 YouTube plaques in the background. And today I want to prove that it doesn't take long at all to grow a YouTube channel, as long as you have the right system and you're willing to work at it. And so I'm going to give you my entire system in this video. So make sure to watch until the end so you get all the parts of it. And so we have to start with finding the niche. I like to start by looking for recent overperforming videos on new and small channels. If something can get like 100,000 views or 1 million views if it's a short on a channel with less than 10,000 subscribers, that is a clear market opportunity since it's something that's already working on a channel that doesn't have a pre-existing audience. If something does blow up on a new or small channel like this, it's a huge indicator of first that there is big audience demand, since a lot of people are willing to watch that topic from a creator that they haven't seen before. And second, that it's likely undersaturated, because if it was something that all the big creators were already doing, then it wouldn't have worked on the smaller channel in the first place. And so to find these opportunities, I usually just use some sort of keyword research tool. Like I like to use the Nextlev Chrome extension, but you could use anything else. You just want a tool that's going to allow you to specifically research for these exact data points. For example, here with the Nextlev Chrome extension, we can filter a YouTube search by different views and subscriber counts, plus use it to search for outliers that will work as content gaps. Also, I'll filter for stuff that's usually maybe 20 to 30 days, often even just 1 or 2 weeks old, since finding earlier opportunities is definitely going to give you a better chance of success. From there, I can usually find a couple dozen opportunities that fit my criteria within a couple hours of research. In this case, there was one channel in particular that I found as I was searching through some documentary niches that was blowing up to insane levels. It's this one, Nature Lost Vault. At the time, the channel had around 30,000 subscribers with multiple videos reaching the 500,000 to 1 million views mark. So there's definitely some big outliers here, and they're hugely outperforming their channel size. So it's not just new and small channels where you can find these opportunities, but also from really big outliers on these medium-sized channels as well too. But there is a bit of a problem here. With the Nature Lost Vault niche, it's actually been a couple months since they started. When I checked, the niche had about 10 or 15 competitors already. If I'm being fully honest, it's probably a little bit too late to fully copy them and enter the exact same niche. At least if we want to make $10,000 a month. Maybe it would work if you want to make $2,000 or $3,000 a month, but I'm going to look for something a little bit better. Based on this original channel, I've got an idea for something that's going to be a little bit better, because this is super common. You know, good niches get leaked really quickly. Plus, with all the niche finding tools out there, anything that blows up is going to get discovered no matter what. And then it's only a matter of time until it becomes oversaturated. And I find there's usually only about a 2-week window where a niche is possible to find and also not too late to start. And that's really not that much time at all. But in the case when the niche is a little bit later than ideal, which is honestly going to be 99% of the time, I like to then apply the strategy of using an adjacent niche. That is to take a niche that's working really well and blowing up, but approach it from a new angle that hasn't been done before yet. And there's 4 ways that I like to do this. The first is to take the original niche and do things bigger and better. So using those original outliers and taking them to the next level, spending more money on the videos, spending more effort and time on the content creation process, just doing whatever the next step up is from the original idea. Another thing I like to do also is taking the same niche, but applying different subjects. So bringing in other topics and video ideas from other niches that haven't been done before yet for the niche that you're currently trying to enter. Usually you can find these ideas pretty easily by just researching other adjacent niche channels too. And the third option is to take the same subject, the same video ideas and topics, but bring that to a new niche instead. So just taking those outlier ideas, but applying them to a new niche that hasn't been done before yet. Now the fourth method is a little bit of a secret tech here, and that is to honestly just do the exact same thing as the original creator, but to do it in a different language instead. Because when you're bringing things to a new audience, you can take those videos that were already really good and just remake them in a new language with the content adjusted for that new target audience as well. And I imagine you've probably found that it's fairly easy to find niches that are just a little bit too late to get started, or niches that are just a little bit too saturated to really have a good chance of success. I mean, that's kind of every niche on YouTube to an extent, right? So the best thing is just to find something that's working, that's at least recent enough, like a couple months old, that you also know you can reproduce those same videos with similar quality, and then apply that to an adjacent niche that hasn't been done before yet. Now, if we break down the format from the Nature Lost Vault channel, Here's a few of their early videos that went mega viral. So the foundation of their ideas here is about presenting some sort of lost technology within agriculture, like a lost superfood, for example, or a plant that's infinitely renewable. There's also this underlying feeling in their topics that include this conspiracy element to it, but it also creates a villain and implies a story. So not just why was this lost, but who was behind this? How did this happen? Why did this get banned? And so in this case, the adjacent niche that I'm going to do is taking the nature lost vault subjects and the overall format that they're doing and apply that to a new niche that hasn't been done before yet. So instead of doing videos for lost agriculture technology, what other lost technologies could we explore instead? Well, I made this AI prompt here for brainstorming adjacent niche ideas like this. It also works for video ideas too. So we take this prompt, we just upload it into Claude, and then we plug in some video examples from Nature Lost Vault, as well as a few video transcripts and screenshots of their channel and their best performing videos, and then tell it in the prompt that we also want just ideas for adjacent niches specifically. And we'll get back a bunch of really good ideas, plus some really good explanations and big details about them too. And by the way, if you watch until the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how you can get all the AI prompts that I'm going to show you in this video completely for free. So stay tuned for that until the end. But first, I have to show you our full content process. So with this prompt, we came up with the adjacent niche idea of applying these topics to homes and houses instead of agriculture. Things like house building, heat and electricity, utilities, home DIY repairs, and so on. And this is a really great adjacent niche. It captures the spirit of the original content. It's relatable to the human experience. Everyone lives in a house, everyone pays for heat and electricity. But at the same time, these things are also super expensive and really annoying to deal with sometimes. And I bet there's a lot of conspiracy theory topics that we could exploit too. So let's run the ideation prompt again, but this time tell it that we want video ideas with the context of this adjacent niche that we've now decided on. So with that, we get back some great concepts, some new ideas here. And so from this list, for the first ideas, I think I want to start with a topic covering just really cheap house buildings. And then maybe for the second video, let's do an idea based on like heat and utility costs. Here's a quick preview of the two videos that I'm going to be planning here after this little brainstorming session. The thumbnails are going to come later, of course, but just to show the full picture of kind of what we're going for here. So this first idea here, the $5,000 house they made illegal. Why are you not allowed to build it? This is an idea that obviously plays off of everyone, rent is way too expensive these days, right? Plus, it builds a really interesting conspiracy story of why it's illegal to build cheaper houses that we can talk about in the video. And the second idea, this home heats itself forever. Why did the energy industry bury it? Another similar concept this time, but for heating, getting free heat forever. That's a really crazy idea. Plus, we have the arc of like, why did this happen? Why did this get banned? Who's behind this? And so on. And I think this sets us up for some pretty good video ideas here. And I just did a little quick double check research to make sure the ideas hadn't been done before. And I think we're set up and pretty much good to go here. Now, the next step is going to be making these ideas into actual videos, of course. So let's start with some video scripts, which of course I have an AI prompt for again as well. So let's just plug in our script writing prompt here into the same chat and just tell Claude which idea we want to write the script for. We got to do these one at a time, but pretty straightforward. And with this script writing prompt, we just want to provide as much input as possible for the AI to actually use as training data. So we're going to input just a bunch of transcripts from competitors from the original niche, screenshots and ideas, analytics from the channel, just everything and anything that we can find. Give it as much information as possible here. And then the AI will have the full context to then go ahead and write us a really good quality script. So here we go. We ran the prompt and now we have a pretty good script back here. The next step, of course, is to revise the script, which I think a lot of you guys are probably going to skip over, but it's really important. I think you can make AI videos significantly better if you just spend 20 or 30 minutes manually revising every single part of it. Like with the script, I'll usually spend a little bit of extra time to optimize the intro, just double check for any mistakes or errors, and just fix any of the super wordy or really drawn out parts, because AI has a tendency to like over explain and make things way more complicated than it needs to be sometimes. And this is the kind of thing that will really set you apart from all the other AI slop channels. And honestly, it's not that much effort and it's a really good return on the time invested to making the content actually better too. Now that we have a script, of course, all that we have to do next is make the actual video, right? So this is the crazy part though. For our content process, all we do is we take our video script that we just generated and then we plug it into this new software known as Vid Rush. Vid Rush is an AI content creation tool that creates fully edited videos from scratch using just your script or even a prompt. So we take our script, we upload that into Vid Rush, and that's kind of it for our content process actually. On Vid Rush, you just gotta give it a video title, select the 11 Labs voiceover, select a couple editor style choices, and Vid Rush will give us back a really good quality, fully completed video that we didn't have to edit ourselves at all. And it's also much cheaper than paying an editor to do it as well, and in my experience, it's just as good, honestly. And by the way, the original Nature Lost Vault channel was also made using Vid Rush. So once the video is done generating here, I'll watch through it once just to review and check for any mistakes or errors. It takes like 20-30 minutes, and once that's all done, we can go ahead and render the video, and we get a fully completed video downloaded just like that. So from start to finish, to finding the niche to now having 2 fully completed videos, it took me about 3 hours, and it cost about $20-25 per video. Really not too bad, I think. I mean, sure, it's not free, but take a look at the quality of this footage and editing. I've hired and worked with over 100 video editors on all my other YouTube channels before this existed, and the Vid Rush quality is about as good as editors that I would pay $75 per video for or more. Plus, you could easily make it cheaper by making the videos a little bit shorter, since with Vid Rush, you're paying per every minute of video that you generate. So if we just started out with a little bit shorter videos, it could have easily been like $15 a video only too. And right now, Vid Rush is in closed beta, but if you actually go to the Vid Rush website and sign up for the waitlist, fill out the form there, and then at the end of the waitlist sign-up form, there is an option to put in a referral code, and if you use my code JeremyB, you'll be able to get access to it immediately and skip the closed beta waitlist. Again, the code is JeremyB, and I'll leave a link in the description for you too. And with that, let's go ahead and post the first 2 videos. But I mean, you guys already know, right? I'm JeremyB. So well, of course, the first video blew up immediately. It went on to get 20,000 views, our second video over 200,000 views, and this was all on a completely brand new channel starting from 0 views, 0 subscribers, and a fresh account. And by the way, if you're wondering, we've had no issues with getting and staying monetized on this channel. I think the Vid Rush quality is just that good that there really haven't been any concerns with monetization for us so far. But hey, this is a speed run to $10,000, not just 2 videos blowing up, right? And I haven't forgotten about giving you my AI prompts. I'll show you where to get those again at the end of this video. Now, our next steps are to find ways to improve and optimize the content even further. With AI content in general, you always want to try to find ways to level things up so that you aren't just making the same videos as everybody else, right? For example, such as using an exclusive private tool that you could get access to using code JeremyB, link in the description at vidrush.ai. But otherwise, for starters, we can use 11 Labs and use their professional voice clone feature to create what I believe is the highest quality AI narrator right now. You just need to record like an hour or so of you narrating something in the style that you want for your videos, and then use that recording to generate a pro voice clone. And then instead of inputting the scripts into Vid Rush, you can then create the audio in 11 Labs, or I mean, honestly, you could just record it with a human narrator too, take that voice recording and then upload it directly into Vid Rush. And that will give you a much higher quality narrator than the publicly available 11 Labs voices. And Vid Rush still reads the script from your actual voiceover too, so it works great. We also use Nano Banana Pro to create higher tier thumbnails manually. If you just go back to the original Claude chat where you generated the script, you can ask it to generate a prompt or even ideas for thumbnails that you could use for this video. And then you take that prompt that Claude generates and you plug that into the image generator, either Nano Banana Pro, or people use GPT images too. And then what I also like to do is input like a competitor outlier in Nano Banana just as an example, and then tell the AI how you want to adjust the image based on the example, and then run a few extra iterations after that to just tweak and perfect all the little details. And you can get something really good with that. I mean, no Photoshop or photo editing experience required. And from there, it took about a week to get monetized from when we posted the first video. Eventually, we ramped up to posting almost daily videos while improving the content. And I mean, everything went amazing. The first day we were monetized, we made $600 in ad revenue. And then just 10 days later, we had hit $11,000 in total earnings. And again, this was all on a completely brand new channel from scratch. I mean, is this good enough for a world record speedrun? I certainly hope so. Maybe we can try to get a page for this on speedrun.com in the future. Now, one thing I do want to clarify about this channel, Lost Build Archives, is it's not entirely my channel. Lost Build Archives is actually something I created in partnership with one of my coaching students, Chris from Germany, as a part of my one-to-one mentorship program. And together with his hard work as well, it only took us about 2 or 3 weeks to change Chris's life forever. So next, I want to change your life too. So if you want to be the next channel that I successfully speedrun, you can apply for my one-to-one mentorship at the link in the description. Also, if you wait until the end to get all my AI prompts for free, I'll send them straight to your email. The way to get them is I have it set up to automatically send straight to your email after you fill out an application for the one-to-one mentorship program. You don't need to even get approved or anything like that. You literally just get an automatic email sent to you directly right away after you fill out the application. It only takes about 1 minute and it's free to do. And then you'll get all of my AI prompts as well as a free YouTube course and a bunch of extra bonuses just sent directly to the email that you fill out the form with. And if you made it this far into the video, leave a comment for a little secret shout out right here at the end. Maybe tell me something about your channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.